Hey everybody, it's Christian Buckley doing another MVP Buzz Chat, and I'm talking today with Chris. Hello.
Hey man, how are you doing?
Doing well, and for folks that don't know you, who are you, where are you, and what do you do?
So Chris Hinch, I live in South Carolina, about an hour south of Greenville. I just tell people Greenville. So we have acreage in the middle of nowhere. We have a small farm away from
Nice.
people. So that's the good part about where we live. So it
How's that
takes me an
internet?
hour to get to the airport. That's the bad
Oh,
part, right?
yeah. And you know what? Hey, these days an hour's not that bad, but
True.
yeah.
Yeah, I was telling some people this past week on the trip I was on. It takes me an hour to get to the airport. I was like, "Well, how far are you?" I'm like, "Oh, about 45 miles." They're like, "And it only takes you an hour?" So yeah, to your
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. But no, I always ask though, it's like because in your more rural side, I mean, how's that internet working for you?
The internet actually works great. We have fiber coming directly into our house. So there's a rural telephone company that runs this area,
There you
and
go.
everybody out here has fiber. They're the only option too. So you can't get any of the other options. So the only option you have is fiber.
Satellite, yeah, it's all coming. I mean, but that's always one of those concerns. Like, I want to go more rural as well. I'm kind of tied. My wife has an office she drives into downtown Dallas every day. But if that weren't the case, we would be out in the sticks somewhere again.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to getting back there. But
Yeah, no, I love it.
very
I
cool.
love being out here.
So you've been in the program for over a year, so a year and a half.
Yeah, this is yeah, it's because September last year I got in, and then we did the renewal. So yeah, I mean,
Right.
almost just over a full year, but two cycles.
Very cool. Well, so what's your primary focus?
So when I first got in, it was M365 Copilot, and then when I got renewed this year, it was Copilot and Teams.
Yeah, they like to do that, throw stuff on there,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's for people that don't understand that cycle too. It's a bit weird because like I have such a mix of things, yet I am still primarily a SharePoint MVP,
Oh,
even
nice.
though I probably talk more about Teams and Copilot than I
Hmm.
do SharePoint, but
Yeah.
it's all within the M365 bucket, which is ultimately what we both roll into.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at what I do on a day-to-day basis, like work-wise, I probably talk more on the security side of things, more Intune, more Defender, more Purview. But when I'm
Yeah.
doing like community events and stuff, it's more Copilot team, more on the collab type side of things. Because if you will, it depends where you consider Copilot. Sits in the collab stack though.
Well, it depends on what part of it you're talking
Sure.
about too. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I just had a conversation this morning with somebody who's definitely on the developer side of things and is an Azure AI Foundry MVP, but is like tons of content around Copilot
Yep.
and on the M365 side of things. And I was like, well, that's more of the collaboration stack and conference. It's like he's like what the clients ask for, that
Yep.
kind of drives a lot of that. What's kind
Yep.
of your, I mean, so that's the stuff you're doing for the day job. Like, what's your primary contribution type? Like, what do you enjoy doing?
So when I first got in, it was speaking at events. I still like speaking at events, but I travel so much for work as it is today because live in rural South Carolina. You can't. It's not that many clients you can just drive to where I live. So there's a lot of travel, anyways. It's kind of moved a little bit. I do a lot of social media stuff. I have a thing I do every week. It's called the Microsoft Minute, where I post like little bits and tidbits, things that I find interesting. I also do a series every other week. It's called Coffee with Chris, where I talk about. I keep the videos pretty short, under 3 minutes by design, because I want it to be something you can easily watch when you're scrolling on your phone, drinking your coffee in the morning. So it's just like, hey, this new thing came out for Copilot. It's been primarily focused around Copilot, but if it's a slow week that week, which is rare these days, but it does happen, or if there's something that's just like, oh wow, that's I gotta let people know that this just came out for Teams or this just came out for Intune, then I'll drop those in there. But I do that, and then we have a podcast that we're doing now every month. We do. It's called Feature Frontier. So the link is featurefrontier.show. You can go through it, and we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon, and we're on Apple, so you can
You
listen
don't
to it.
have those links out on your MVP profiles. Looks like someone needs to go expand
Oh,
their
well,
the URLs out there. But
there we
yeah,
go. I guess I do. Yeah. But the Feature Frontier, we do. We basically go over the what's new for the previous month. So that we're about to record it as soon as we're done recording this. We're recording the podcast. So we're going to go over all the updates that came out for Copilot in September. And so I'll get this edited today, and then it'll be published probably Monday morning. I'll get it published out there for everybody, so it'll be in everybody's podcast.
Yeah, it's funny. I spent years of doing primarily travel, and I think my number one contribution was, I mean, always been writing, blogging, that stuff, but was speaking at events. And
Mhm.
it's I don't know. The older I get, I don't have really FOMO for these events. I'm like, hey, have
Yeah.
fun. That's great. And I miss seeing people as frequently. Most people I miss seeing frequently, but I have no problem just sitting at home and doing online stuff and pushing
Yeah.
content out there.
Yeah, no, like I said, the copy with Chris I do from here, or I mean, I've recorded a couple of them in hotel rooms because, like I said, my job. Because I do try to make sure that we're consistent with those. But yeah, I mean, I love doing the podcast. It was an accident. We were at Comms VNex this year. I think it was this year, and I think you know Eric. He runs the podcast booth
Yep,
at
yep.
CVN,
I did one there
and
as well this year, last 2 years. Yep.
yeah, I did one actually last year as well. And so a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, you want to do a podcast because Eric's gonna be recording. He's got some slots open." So we did it, and it was very natural. It was just like how this we're having a conversation. It's like, man, we should do this regularly. And you know,
Yeah,
Richard agreed, and so now we do Feature Frontier. So
that's very cool.
kind of
Well,
evolved from that.
Have to say, so folks don't know when we're talking about Eric Marcy, who does this. The man has nice gear too.
Yeah,
I aspire to having that nice of a setup for that. Although I don't envy his drive that he does to get all that
exactly.
stuff out there. Like, but yeah, I mean, it's funny. We used to, in fact, I think it was like 2016, 2017, like the Ignites kind of the thing as you get ready for the big shows. Everybody would do the blog posts. Let me walk you through my equipment. Here's what I'm bringing on the road. Here's what I have at home. I've not seen too many of those in a while. And people are just
Yeah,
like, I'm tired.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Very, very cool. Well, so what was your journey to becoming an MVP? Like, did you know MVPs, or did you find out, want to be in the program? Did it kind of get surprised with it, which still happens once in a while?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in the Microsoft game for 20 plus years, and it was always more about just helping the clients and doing my job and getting my paycheck kind of thing. And then ended up working at a company where there were two MVPs there, and I'm like, what is this MVP thing? Didn't really know much about it, and so then I started asking the two of them questions, and he's like, yeah, you would slam dunk it because of what I do. Like, my like go out and evangelize and educate people on products and just talk about them. And they're like, have you ever decided to speak at conferences? I'm like, well, I'll speak at it from time to time. And so then I, you know, submitted a handful of sessions at some conferences, started doing a couple other things that the other two MVPs recommend that I would do to, you know, try to work towards this. And when they thought I had enough content, they nominated me, and I got in. So
Yeah.
it's part of my day to day, like doing, like, I love doing the podcast. So it's kind of like that's just an added benefit because I really enjoy it. And the coffee with Chris, to be honest, I enjoy doing those as well. So a lot of the things have kind of evolved out of the efforts that you have to do to stay an MVP, and it's just more things that I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's always I think it's a surprise for people. It's like when you find that it's not about adding additional things to your list of here's what I'm doing for the job, here's like my hobbies, and oh, I got to do this extra stuff. It's kind of an uncovering, like, oh, I'm already doing all this other stuff. Those are my hobbies. I'm
Yep.
already following up this, and so it's just kind of a repackaging of who you
Hmm.
already are.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's exactly how the podcast came, because I was doing webinars with some buddies from Microsoft, obviously for the role that I was in, and if it's for your job, you're technically not allowed to claim it. But then there's like, well, what if you just do the same thing you're doing it just on your time? I'm like, I can do that, and it's like you said, it's kind of evolved or
Yeah.
repackaged. I like that, repackaged.
Well, I'm a marketing guy, so that's what it's a rebrand of that
There you
stuff.
go.
But but that's why it's funny when I go in for clients. I mean, one of the things that you do is you do kind of a content inventory. So I
Hmm.
work with companies on marketing strategy, and it's like, well, what do you have? What's your baseline? What's the content? What are the pieces that are out there? And then you build upon that. It's kind of the same thing with if you're doing a bunch of things for the community, like, hey, I'm already active, I'm at the user group every month, or I'm speaking the occasional event, or I'm blogging a lot, I'm creating a lot of video content out there, kind of on my time. I enjoy doing it, learning, sharing what I've learned. If you're already doing that stuff, then sometimes it's just like for me, it was difficult at first just cataloging that stuff. So doing that inventory, capturing, and
Hmm.
then when you step back and you look at it, and over time, you're like, wow, there's actually a lot here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
because I mean, I was already running the Teams user group for the area too, and I didn't know I could claim those things. So I mean, Teams user group, and then I do an M365 user group as well. And it's like you said, you already do some of these things just to educate or just to kind of get out there in the community. Because I'm super active at the college that I graduated from. I'm part of their advisory council, and so because of my deep background and everything I've done Microsoft wise, I come in and I talk to those. Has
yeah,
nothing to do with my job, but I can claim all that now.
right. It's and for folks too. So like we're talking about dude, claiming it. It's like, hey, I found a way to deduct this from my taxes. Like, it's like not
Yeah.
you not the way to look at it. It's like, but again, that's why it's almost for a lot of people, it's really kind of counterintuitive. Like I'm keeping a list and like, hey, look at me, I did this stuff. Like that's not what it's about. Like, but you do have to be able to defend like, hey, here's what I did, here's what and here's what I'm doing on a regular basis. And it's I mean, for any one of us, I mean, I'm grateful for the program. There's a lot of benefits there. I wish I could do more things, take advantage of like more calls, more activities of MVPs and things, but we all have work, we've got families,
Hmm.
and so you've got to figure out what fits in.
Yep.
And right now, for me, it's been almost 15 years. It coincides, and hey, I'm grateful that it coincides.
Yeah. And it also helps. I'm sure your organization is like it, but if you have an organization that really supports it as well, so if there is an event that you do want to speak at, like I spoke at the one up in DC and I paired it with, a customer visit. And
Right.
so I was able to use double dip, so to speak, right? I was able to go and do something for me and do something for the company all at the same time.
Right. Well, we've got 4 right now. We're working on a couple more MVPs.
Nice.
So we very much understand like the community, the give back, because that's another. I've worked for companies that did not understand the benefits of having somebody who is active within the community and how that benefits the company,
Hmm.
and like pushed back on a lot of those things, even though I was doing things on my own time, like weeknights, weekends, taking time off. Didn't matter. They complained about that. So that was not a very long tenure at that company. It just didn't work out.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, it's yeah, like anything. Yeah, people want to have a balance. Uh, I think if you have people that are MVPs in the mix, and uh, you're probably a company that recognizes, hey, there's actually value in having, if nothing more than like Chris, you're out there, you might go speak at a conference. Well, what's in your byline, your company, your name?
Yep.
You're like,
Exactly.
you're there. I would have people come up all the time and said, oh, you spoke on this topic, so your company does that stuff. I'm like, nope,
Yep.
nothing to do with that. Well, what does your company do? And tell them what it is. Walk them over to the booth at the event, and had great introductions to the sales team based on topics that had absolutely nothing to do with what my company did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, mine's similar. Like I've gone to conferences that my company wasn't at, like the DC one. And I was talking to people. They're like, "You say you do this day? Yeah, like this is some of the stuff from the presentation is what I do day to day. So you can help us." I'm like, "Absolutely, we can help you." And
Yeah.
so, not a company event that I was going to. I'm not a salesperson either, but I got work from it, just like you were mentioning too. Mine was a little bit more directly, where yours was indirect. But yeah, I mean, same thing.
Yeah. What's I'm sure you've been in long enough. You've had, I'm sure, people come up that you've known you for a while, be like, what did you do? What did you do different? Like,
Yeah.
what's this all about? What kind of advice do you give to people that might be interested in the program?
Well, I always tell them, don't make it a chore. Make it something that you want to do. Like if you want to become an MVP, that's one thing, but you don't need to add things to your list. If you're doing it just to become an MVP, that's one thing, but it needs something can sustain. So if it's not fun, you're not going to do it. That's why,
Right.
like how we were talking about how I stumbled into this podcast thing. Like I thoroughly enjoy doing the podcast.
Yeah.
But to try to do something a little different, because and that's one thing I always tell people is do something that's comfortable for you as well. If you're not comfortable public speaking, then don't go speak at conference, write the blogs, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're not comfortable just having a conversation with somebody, then don't do a podcast, right? Like figure out what's in your comfort zone and take how your knowledge base and your expertise can do something on top of that. And if you can't think of something, then let's have a conversation. Let's chat. Like maybe between the two of us, or if I pull other people in, let's figure out ways to maximize what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The stuff that I do, I say this all the time. Like I was doing this stuff before I was an MVP. I will be
Mhm.
doing this stuff after. It's just part of who I am. But to your point too, yeah, it's if you feel like it's a chore, like you have to add on, that's difficult to
Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing the videos. I think it has a little something to do, like before I got super involved in like, having a career. Before that, like college days and stuff, I was always in bands. Like I played on stage. So like being in front of an audience didn't really bother me. And it kind of just it was a
Sa-
natural
sa-
thing.
Same with me. I was
Yeah.
the singer in an alt rock band for
Yep.
years. I would say that like there's being vulnerable up there with your all original music, like on
Hmm.
stage for a crowd, like you get past that. So I don't get
Yep.
nervous on stage. I There's something different like when you're well prepared and you're on point. It's almost like it's the same with running a workshop, doing trainings. When you know the material, you're confident in that, uh, and it's more like you're having a conversation with
Yep.
people and showing stuff. That's how a lot of it is on stage, and so I find a lot of it fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have zero problem getting on stage. It could be, a small user group event, like, 5 to 10 people, or it could be speaking at like, the 365 conference where it's an auditorium. It doesn't really bother me either way, because to your point, I know the content. I'm not
Yeah,
a slide reader by any means. It's like there's going to be something up there. Uh, and I could just talk on it. And I love questions, right? So when people
yeah,
start asking questions, then I get excited.
yeah.
So like I always try to gear them that way.
No, that's another reason too, is that I love doing the AMA format,
Yes,
for
yes.
videos and live and panels and that side of it. As I say, like even going to conferences and like I am more interested in hearing like what are the questions people are asking. Like I know this stuff. I might be able to go and lead a similar session that I'm sitting there attending. I know the speaker well, and I'm going to give them a bunch of critiques on their presentation style afterwards. Like, but as a friendly is a joking thing,
Yeah.
uh, but I love hearing, what are the questions people are asking and be
Mhm.
like, ooh, because that gives me ideas like, you know what? I've got a similar session on that. I need to make sure I have that answered
Yep.
in my session. So I learned so much from participating in those and the hallway conversations.
Yeah. I enjoy the firesides and the AMAs as well, and that helps gear like conversations or workshops that I've done. I always get probably very similar to you, where there's I don't get one. I always get at least one new thing. Normally there's more, but one new thing from a fireside or an AMA that either I'm sitting listening to and asking questions, or I'm up getting. But every time I go to those, I mean, they're just so much fun.
Yeah. Well, it's especially now with using AI tools to kind of track in conversations. And I know, folks, you got to be careful. Like if you're at a paid conference, there's no recording. There's strict rules around that. But around community stuff, I love doing that. Not that I'm going to go and steal their IP,
Yeah.
their content, but to be able to go back through that to make sure I didn't miss something or have follow up questions on something. If I like the way somebody explains somebody, and I want to explain some technical concept and go in and kind of refactor it in my own presentation. I
Hmm.
mean, it's fantastic. That's the point. We're all trying to learn more. We're all trying to get better, and I think that's part of the job of being an MVP. The job part of it. I realize it's an award. It's a recognition for what you did in the year in the past. But we're so interested in continually learning and then sharing what we're learning. So yeah, that's why if you're watching this, you see Chris, myself at a conference, you like the content, you want to partner up, you want to do something or ask questions around it. Like
Oh,
we're so open to having those kinds of
oh yeah.
conversations.
Yeah, I have zero problem. I mean, I was gonna add on what you said. Like, I don't think there's been one community conference where, like you said, "Oh, I really enjoy that. Can I use some of that in my talk?" Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like nobody's not that I've experienced. Nobody's competitive. Everybody's wanting to embrace community even more. And so,
Right.
like getting those little things, it's not like you're stealing it. I mean, I guess you're taking their idea, and making your own, but
Well, you
nobody's gonna
should
take offense to
properly
it.
cite other works kind of
Yeah,
thing, but like somebody just came out to me and like, hey, could I like I really like that what you had in this blog post. Could I share that? And I'm gonna and just I'll mention you. I'm like, dude, go for it.
yeah,
You don't need to
100%.
ask. Of course, that's
Yeah,
it's public. It's in a public forum.
yeah.
Just ethically, it's good to properly cite people. It's like, but if somebody, I get those notifications occasionally where somebody at mentions me like, hey, I really like this that Christian said in his blog post or saw in this video. That's awesome. That
Mhm.
it's if I could just save one life, Chris. That's all. You know? But it's I mean that's what we do. We want
Yep.
people to utilize that.
Yep. Yeah, and I've gotten asked by a couple other MVPs that I've met speaking at conferences, "Hey, do you want to pair on this webinar? Do you want to pair on like I do this like how you pulled me on this? Like I do this podcast. You want to come in and do a guest speaker?" So there's a lot of things that you get. I mean, once you get active in the community, and that's one thing I know some MVPs they get in there for whatever reason, they stick to what they're doing. But if you're super active in the community, then it's just going to grow even more.
Right. Yep. Agreed. Well, Chris, really appreciate this
Yeah.
this opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, and hopefully you're going to make it out to Summit in March.
Yes, already got my hotel booked. Already got the ticket all
Awesome.
done. Yep,
Very cool. So did you make it last year?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember like who I saw. Like it's a whirlwind when you're there.
And it was
So
my first year too, so I was kind of just I don't want to say deer in headlights. It was brand new for me. I'll definitely do it differently this year.
yeah,
But
and
just like
it changes up and it's a little bit different each year and how they do that now. And but now it's like so spread out.
yeah,
And it's but I always say it, especially to newer MVPs. It's like look, it's the number one benefit. It's fantastic. You can't replace that. It's like try to be there if you can.
yeah, no, it was a very good experience, and I recommend going as well.
Yeah. And folks that would know what we're talking about. So as part of being an MVP is we're invited once a year, all of us. Well, I think a couple thousand of us that they put a cap on how many people can be there.
Last year's, right?
Yeah, there you go. And we're on campus, and so we're doing NDA deep dives in providing feedback, learning about roadmap. I mean, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fantastic benefit, and of course, all the networking and get to
Mhm.
hang out with each other. So we'll hope to see you there. I'll definitely be there. Um, Looking forward to it already. In fact, I just got an email yesterday of something. And did I mess something up? Did I slip in the registration? Like, nope, you're still confirmed. You're just there
Yeah,
was kind of a warmer email.
there you go.
But anyway, Chris, well, it's great talking to you.
Absolutely, yeah, great talking to you as well. I appreciate it.